Hey everyone, today we'll be making chicken and vegetable spring rolls with homemade spring roll wrappers. So we will be making a tasty and savory chicken and vegetable filling as well as home-style crispy spring roll wrappers. So let's see how to do this. So first we're going to make the chicken and vegetable filling. For this we need 300 grams of boneless chicken breast that has been cooked with salt and pepper and then cooled and then shredded. Next we have 2 carrots that have been julienne cut like this, 3 cups of cabbage shredded, and it's best to slice the cabbage finely instead of using a grater. And we also have 1 large green capsicum or bell pepper that has been sliced julienne as well. And when you're preparing your vegetables, make sure you don't grate the vegetables too finely, especially the capsicum, because it will release too much water when we're cooking the filling. To cook the filling, we have 4 tablespoons of vegetable oil in a pan here. As it heats up, add 1 tablespoon of ginger garlic paste. That's equal quantities of fresh ginger and garlic that has been ground to a paste. You just want to saute this till it's nice and fragrant. And then to this, we're going to add the green capsicum first. The capsicum takes a while to soften, so we're going to add that first. Saute briefly till slightly softened. Next we can add the julienne carrot. As you can see, I've sliced the carrot into thin sticks like this. Saute the carrot until it starts to soften. And next we can add the shredded cabbage. Stir well till the cabbage is just mixed through. At this point we can add our cooked and shredded chicken. And now we just want to toss everything together really well till the chicken absorbs the flavors and the vegetables are slightly cooked. You don't want to overcook the vegetables. So now everything is mixed thoroughly. We can start to add some seasoning sauces. 1 tablespoon of store-bought bottled red chili sauce, 1 tablespoon of soy sauce, and 2 tablespoons of garlic chili sauce. Now I ran out of my bottled sauce, so I'm using McDonald's garlic chili sauce here. It works well. If you don't have garlic chili sauce, you can just use extra chili sauce, but the garlic chili sauce does add flavor to these spring rolls. We've turned down the heat and we're adding 1/3 cup of spring onion greens chopped, 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper powder, 1/2 teaspoon of ground cumin. This gives the filling a really nice aroma. And we're also going to add 1/2 teaspoon of chicken stock powder. I'm using Knorr chicken stock powder. If you don't have this, you can just add a little bit of extra salt. And I did add just a dash of extra salt to taste. We're going to add this to a strainer or colander, and this allows all the extra liquid to be drained out before we fill the spring rolls. Set that aside, and now we can start to prepare our batter for the spring roll wrappers. For this, you need 1½ cups of plain flour. Add to a bowl along with 1½ cups of cornstarch. To this, add 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 egg, and then we want to mix this slowly, gradually adding 1 cup of water. Add just a little bit at a time and keep mixing. Initially, you want to make a very thick batter. Now it's time to switch out the whisk in this recipe for the best utensil, your hands. Wash your hands and start to beat and stretch out the batter using your hands. Add just a little bit of water if you need to wet your hands. At this stage, you want the batter to be really thick and just keep beating it and stretching it with your hands. You can scrape any dry flour at the bottom of the bowl. Do this for around 1 minute. This gives the spring roll wrappers a nice crispy texture. you can see the batter is smooth but thick without any lumps. So this step is really important. And you can see the texture of our thick, stretchy batter. Now at this stage, we're going to add additional water to thin out the batter. Because in the end, the batter that we're using to make the spring rolls is quite thin. So I added about half a cup of the water to check the consistency first. And it's coating my fingers too thickly. So we're gonna add the rest. So gradually I ended up using 1 cup of additional water. And you can see the thin batter that we've made. And now we can make our spring roll sheets or spring roll wrappers. We have a non-stick pan here, and we're just going to slightly grease it with oil. And then pour about 2 large ladles of the batter into the pan. And then quickly swirl the pan to coat the pan. And any extra batter goes back into the bowl. You want a very thin layer. And then on a very low heat, you want to cook this for about 2 minutes, just under 2 minutes. And you'll start to see that the wrapper starts to release from the edges of the pan. And you can remove this. So I find pouring the batter straight from the bowl is better than adding ladlefuls. Always pour out the extra. And cook each sheet like this, just under 2 minutes. If there's extra batter hanging off the edge of your pan, you want to gently cut that off. Only flip when the wrapper has started to release from the sides of the pan. It should be very transparent. The thinner these wrappers, the better and crispier your spring rolls will be. So as you'll notice, we're only cooking one side of the wrapper. Place each wrapper as you're done on a tray lined with parchment paper, and between each of the sheets you want to sprinkle a little bit of corn flour so they don't stick to each other like this. And we have made our homemade spring roll wrappers. So now we can start to fill and roll the spring rolls. So take one sheet at a time. And we want to add about 2 to 2.5 tablespoons of the filling along the side of the sheet, and then start to tuck and roll. Once you've rolled a bit, you want to fold up the edges. Add a little bit of slurry made of corn flour and plain flour mixed with some water to make a glue. And like this, we can prepare our spring rolls. You don't want to overfill the spring rolls as they will tear. And when you're done, always roll the spring rolls on the tray to give it a better shape. So we're going to roll all our spring rolls the same way. And you can either freeze these in the freezer on a tray, and then once they're frozen you can put them in Ziploc bags, or you can fry them straight away. We're using a shallow pan to deep fry the spring rolls here. Just in small batches. We want to fry these spring rolls till they turn crispy and golden brown. This took about 5 minutes, turning occasionally. And our spring rolls are done. You can start with the next batch. You can see the nice crispy home-style spring roll wrappers. So this makes about 10 spring rolls. This chicken and vegetable filling is really savory, and the spring roll wrappers are nice and crispy. I hope you try this recipe. You'll be so pleased with yourself when you made the homemade spring roll wrappers with this unique filling. I hope you enjoyed the video recipe. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time. Bye.